Good afternoon. Scotland's Transport Minister has apologised after more than 200 drivers were stranded overnight. Motorists on the M74 were forced to sleep in their vehicles as snow and ice brought treacherous driving conditions. Dozens of schools across the country are closed today, including some in the Highlands and Perthshire.
It's been one of the most challenging winters that we've had to deal with for a good number of years. The season started off very early in November. We've seen really very freezing temperatures, and the road surface temperature in particular has got as low as -10 in some areas, so it's been particularly difficult for us to treat those roads.
The Royal Bank of Scotland has defended its decision to close 62 branches. Management from the company have told a parliamentary committee it's in response to changing customer behaviour. STV News has been to Barra, where the only bank on the island is due to shut down.
With us it involves a ferry, a car ride, a ferry and then another car ride or a bus. So you're looking at a day, assuming that the ferries run, and in the winter obviously ferries are affected by the weather. In the winter it's quite possible that you'd have to spend an overnight just to go and do your banking.
NHS bosses have given the go-ahead for a reshaping of surgical services in Tayside. They've announced that there will continue to be 3 units at Ninewells Hospital, Perth Royal Infirmary and Stracathro, but the shake-up means that all unscheduled operations will take place at Ninewells in Dundee. Aberdeen manager Derek McInnes has warned the club will be left behind if a new £50 million stadium and training complex is not approved. He was speaking to city councillors who will decide on the project at Kingsford, on the outskirts of the city, at the end of the month. Objectors say the club should look at an alternative site.
We are an ambitious club. I want us to be a top 100 rated club in Europe, to be challenging for league titles and cups. And I want to give my players and future generations of players in Aberdeen the best opportunity to fulfil their potential. I have been pressing for better facilities for my players, for the fans since my first day in the job. Some things are too important to give up on. This project is one of those things for me, for the club and also for the city.
Now here's Sean with a look at the weather forecast.
TUI sponsors STV Weather.
A very good afternoon to you. Some parts we've had some pretty awful conditions over the last 24 hours and we'll continue to hang on to wintry showers affecting northern and western areas through the rest of this afternoon with a keen westerly wind. Still some horrible conditions on the higher roads, blowing of that snow, perhaps blizzard-like conditions and any heavier showers that come through, but again across Angus and Aberdeenshire, a lot of dry weather with sunshine. Now we've got Storm Fionn developing and he's going to be affecting mainly central and southern parts of the country, especially the north of England with some strong winds, some heavy snow further south. But for us, the winds turn lighter, it becomes drier through tonight, some very low temperatures, wintry showers again in the north and west tomorrow.
TUI sponsors STV Weather.
Well, that's all for now. Join us at 6 when we'll have a full roundup of today's news and sport. But until then, from everyone here, have a very good afternoon. Goodbye.